You know all that advice you've probably heard your whole life? That to get someone's attention, you've got to give them all of yours? Well, today, we're diving into a pretty radical idea, something straight from our source material that flips that on its head. What if the real secret to attraction is actually ignoring that? I mean, think about it. The conventional wisdom is to shower someone with endless affection, right? That's supposedly the surefire way to win their heart. But what if that's not the whole picture? Our source material really challenges this, and it makes you ask a pretty big question. Have we been getting this all wrong? And this quote right here, wow, it really gets to the core of it. What if I told you that by simply ignoring her, you could flip the power dynamic in your favor? Now, hold on. This isn't about playing mean games or being a jerk. No. It's about digging into the psychology of attraction and figuring out how to shift those dynamics in a way that actually works for you. All right, so how does this actually work? Well, today we're going to break down 5 key tactics from the source material. We'll start with something called the overinvestment trap, touch on curiosity and mystery, talk about respect, and then build all the way up to the big one, making her chase you. Okay, let's kick things off with section 1, the overinvestment trap. It's all about why being too available can, believe it or not, lower your value. The core idea is actually super simple. If you're always there, always on call, your attention kind of becomes common. It's not special anymore, and its value just plummets. And this comparison here really paints a clear picture. On one side, you've got the classic signs of overinvestment, right? Always texting first, dropping your own plans for her, being way too easy to read. It just comes off as needy. But then look at the other side. You've got someone who has their own life, who isn't bombarding them with texts, who's a little unpredictable. That person seems self-sufficient, and that's exciting. See the difference? One screams neediness, the other builds value. So the logic from the source is pretty straightforward when you think about it. If she doesn't have to work for your attention at all, why would she value it? It's human nature. We value what we have to earn. If your attention is just handed out freely, it loses all its power. But if it's something she has to work for, well, now it feels like a prize worth winning. Okay, so how do you actually make that shift? How do you go from being overinvested to creating that sense of value? Well, that brings us right to our next section, triggering her curiosity. It's all about using a bit of distance to create this mental gap that really pulls her in and makes you stand out. And there's actually a chain reaction to this, and it's fascinating. Check it out. Step 1, you create a little distance. Step 2, she starts wondering, what's up with them? Step 3, bam, curiosity is triggered. And what's the final result? Step 4, she becomes more invested because now she has a puzzle to solve. It really boils down to this fundamental human truth. Humans are wired to crave what's uncertain. Think about it. We are just hardwired to be drawn to the unknown. Predictability can be, well, kind of boring, but a little bit of mystery, that can be incredibly attractive. And that leads us perfectly into our third section, the allure of mystery. Because, predictability can be the ultimate attraction killer. According to our source, if you're a complete open book from the get-go, where's the fun? There's no story for her to uncover, no layers to peel back. So how do you actually maintain a little mystery without being, fake or deceptive? Well, here's what the source suggests. Avoid being an open book right away. You don't always have to share your plans. Be selective about what you reveal, and you don't always owe someone an explanation. The point is to just be a little harder to read. It's not about hiding who you are, it's about revealing it over time. And the real goal here, according to the source, is to make her invest emotional energy in trying to figure you out. Think of it like a good movie or book. If you know the ending in the first 5 minutes, you lose interest. You want some twists, some turns. You want to make her invest in the process of getting to know you, because that investment is what builds that feeling of value and connection. All right, let's pause here because this next part is absolutely critical. Section 4 is all about the line of respect, because there is a huge, huge difference between strategically pulling away and just being a jerk. Our source is super clear on this. The goal is to be intriguing, not insulting. And this chart lays it out perfectly. On the one hand, strategically pulling away shows self-respect and confidence. It gives her space to actually miss you. It creates value and intrigue, and you're still treating her with class. But being disrespectful, that just shows immaturity. It's punishing her with silence. All that does is create resentment and completely sabotage any chance of a real connection. 2 totally different things. And honestly, this quote just says it all. You don't need to degrade her to elevate yourself. It's so true. You don't have to tear someone else down to build yourself up. Real confidence, true value, it comes from within. It doesn't come from playing power games or putting other people down. So, after all this, the scarcity, the curiosity, the mystery, the respect, where does it all lead? Well, it leads to our fifth and final section. And this is the ultimate goal of the whole strategy: making her chase you. It's all about how to flip the script from being the pursuer to being the one who is pursued. But first, what exactly are we trying to fix? It's this thing called the pursuer dynamic. You've probably seen it or maybe even been in it. It's that one-sided relationship where one person is doing all the work, all the initiating, all the planning, all the investing. It puts the other person in complete control, and frankly, it's a dynamic that's just not sustainable. So, how do you actually flip the script? Well, the source material lays it out. You have to stop being the one who always pursues. You have to focus on your own life, your goals, your interests. Let her work for your time and attention. The key is to show you have a fulfilling, awesome life with or without her. It's not about playing hard to get, it's about being hard to get because you're busy building an amazing life. When you boil it all down, every single one of these tactics rests on one central premise. Scarcity creates perceived value. It's a basic principle of economics and psychology. The less available something is, the more valuable it seems, the more we want it. And that's true for everything from designer handbags to, yes, even your attention. Which leaves us with a really big question to think about, doesn't it? Is all of this a strategy for building a genuine connection, or is it just a psychological game? Can you actually be both strategic and sincere at the same time? The answer is probably pretty complicated, but it's definitely something worth thinking about.